Okay, so this is my first video. I've never recorded one before. I'm still learning how to do this, so bear with me. My name is Patrick Knight, aka DubTrixxx. That's tricks with 3 X's. And I figured I would kick this off with the whole reason that I decided to do this in the first place. Because I feel like I've kind of been holding in a lot of stuff that needs to come out. And given my background, which you'll all eventually get to learn about, I kind of felt like I needed to just kind of keep quiet about things, and I really didn't. And I've just, in the past few months, realized that, hey, I don't need to keep quiet about this. I do need to speak out. I do need to tell everybody how I feel. So I'm gonna kick it off with this. All right. Today is February 15th, 2017. So it's been a while. I'm still kind of getting used to the whole technology thing. Bear with me. I don't like to consider myself old, but I do realize I am older than the technology crowd. So that being said, I'm gonna go back. On Facebook, I had posted a status back in July 13th to be exact, July 13th, 2016, which kind of gained some traction. It was shared around 21,000 times. I don't know if that's considered viral. It might be considered semi-viral, quasi-viral, however you consider it. But it really shocked me that it was shared so many times by so many people. I ended up receiving thousands of friend requests, receiving thousands of messages, and the outpouring of support I received for it was just beyond imaginable. I could not believe how many people who, even though they weren't like me, still thought the same way I thought. They still felt the same way I felt. They still said, hey, even though we're not like you, we feel you, we're with you. Because everybody who's like us, even though we're not like you, is not like them, which I really, really, really appreciate. So I can't even begin to just express how amazing that was to me. That response was just, it was amazing. Bigly amazing. So I figured what tonight I would do is, for my first video, I would just read my post from that first time, so you could kind of gain some insight as to how I think, how I feel, where I stand. And it's up to you. Decide for yourself if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. It doesn't matter. You're gonna feel how you feel. You're gonna think what you think. But at the end of this, you're gonna know how I think, know how I feel. So after this, I'll probably kick it up with current events, things like that. But to start, because I've never done this before, this is what's gonna kick it off. This is what you're gonna see. This is how you're gonna think, oh, okay, this is how Patrick, aka DubTrixxx, feels about things. So, July 13th, 2016, 2:24 a.m. That's how much this was pressing me, because I was awake that early. Okay, I had to be at work at 5 the next morning. As it starts, I think a lot of my Facebook friends frequently forget 2 very important things. 1, I am black. 2, I could see their posts and comments. This may end up being rather long, but I don't apologize for it, not in the slightest bit. I have some things that need to be said. If you want to read, be my guest. Conversely, if you choose not to, don't be surprised when I call you out the moment you decide to say something slick. I've been on Facebook for about a decade. The first time I ever unfriended one was only a couple of months ago, and others soon followed. I'm sure that more will follow, and some will remove themselves after reading this, in this case hearing this. People know me as Patrick. Smart, funny, witty, charming, good-looking, blah, blah, blah. But one of the reasons that so many people have been nice to me is because I'm a non-threatening, unassuming black man. I don't fit the America's nightmare stereotype. I work hard. I'm a good father to my kids. However, the realization that so many people I know are instantly ready to write off the fact that I have a problem with the issues that the black community faces today bothers me to a degree that I would have never imagined. Patrick is chill. Patrick is funny. Must be great. Except for the fact that chill, funny Patrick still has to go through the same issues and jump through the same hoops as non-chill, non-funny black Americans. Chill Funny Patrick has had police officers pull their guns on him multiple times while breaking no laws, even though it won't happen if you're respectful. Chill Funny Patrick has been called a nigger countless times, and I'm going to emphasize the ER so that shit stings. ER, nigger. That's not cool. I don't like the word nigga either, but nigger means so many things to so many people. That's why I emphasize that. I have been called that by strangers, friends, employers. Think about that. Chill Funny Patrick learned in junior high that he talked white. Maybe my white friends couldn't understand that it wasn't a compliment, but it's a pretty insulting thing to say to a person. It's also messed up to introduce me to your other friends, whom I've never met, as the whitest black guy you'll ever meet. I've never met this person. They've never met me. But thanks to you trying to make it seem like a harmless joke to you, this stranger not only has a preconceived notion of how I might think or behave, but they also have implied permission to call me the same thing. Chill Funny Patrick once got in a fight in high school during assembly because the skinhead sitting behind me felt the need of referring to the guest speaker, a preacher from a local church, as a poor stupid nigger. Even though several of my friends seated with me could hear them, no one spoke up except for me. Chill Funny Patrick had to go through a 10th grade class reading of Mice and Men. I'm not sure what teacher was thinking, but she felt the need to announce that the book might have some offensive language. She then followed it up by saying, "Whenever we get to the offensive language, we'll stop and ask Patrick if it's okay to continue." Seeing how much of Steinbeck's literary works contain the N-word almost as much as the word the, you can imagine how humiliating and how long that event was. When she decided to show the movie afterwards, it was pretty much just as bad. Chill Funny Patrick wasn't allowed to try out for the lead in the church, keyword, church, Christmas play because it took place in the 1940s and the audience might not be too comfortable with viewing an interracial relationship during that time. Obviously, they wouldn't be comfortable with it in the present time either, because Chill Funny Patrick had more than a couple relationships ended because one or more of the white girl's parents either didn't like black people, felt that everyone should be with their own kind, or that my family wasn't classy enough. Chill Funny Patrick tried to post some opinions about current events, namely the Freddie Gray case, and was met with a white friend saying, "You're posting some pretty racist stuff lately." I'm just trying to understand how the dude broke his neck, and no one knows how. Honestly, it's a miracle that Chill Funny Patrick is chill or funny at all, or that he doesn't hate white people with a passion. I've been introduced to the worst kind throughout all my years. For most of my life, a majority of my friends have been white. Not by design, it's just that you encounter who you encounter, and you get along with who you get along with. I know that white people aren't bad as a whole, but I do know that a lot of them just don't get it. They don't understand what I've been through or why I support the need for change so that others don't have to continue going through the same things. On the good side, I have several white friends who treat me as equals. I'm not entertainment for them. I'm not the reason they can't be racist. I'm not the safe black guy. I'm a black man who has gone through things that I shouldn't have, and they understand and they respect that. They speak out against racial injustice. They stand up for me when someone spews some ignorant nonsense. They get it. I have a friend who happens to be a white cop that I frequently engage in discussion with about the same issues. And we don't always see eye to eye, but we're always respectful. We're always respectful to each other, and we always listen to the opposing points of view. That's what real friends do. Real friends. I'm not racist because I have a black friend. I'm not racist because I have a white friend. That's just a real friend. Sadly, I've had several white friends who don't get it. These are the people who tell me, "Patrick, get over it. Patrick, it's only an issue because the media makes it one. Patrick, what about black on black crime? Patrick, I'm waiting on my white privilege check in the mail. Patrick, maybe if black people weren't so violent." No, that's not true. And then I have to see posts like, "Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. They should change their name to Welfare Checks Matter. If one of these protesters touches my car, I'm going to shoot them because I can defend myself. That monkey Obama is trying to take our guns." And then I get invited to events like running over protesters because someone thinks it's funny. There's going to be black pancakes all over the road. Pandora supports Black Lives Matters. I'm canceling my subscription. I'm appalled. I could go on, but I'm not going to. Because basically, if you don't get it, just keep your mouth shut about it. You're not my friend if you have to use racism and stereotypes to get your point across. I'm not keeping silent about it anymore. Because I have too many friends who forget who I am. And that's why Facebook isn't going to be a fun and happy place anymore. If me calling you out for saying that something ignorant is an issue, we don't have to be friends. If supporting a movement for equality bothers you, we don't have to be friends. My life matters. My kids' lives matter. And my family's lives matters. Because Black lives matter. The media didn't show me my life. I lived it. I know what happens. I see what goes on. You haven't walked 1 mile in my shoes. I know what happens. And I see what goes on. Because if you don't get it, the number of racist encounters that I've had in my life that I've forgotten about is greater than the number that you will ever have in your life. You could try the whole, Shamika at Walmart was rude to me because I was white, but miss me with that. She's rude to everyone. Agree or disagree, but that's how I feel about it, and the days of me keeping quiet to protect other people's feelings are over. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm going to speak how I feel. You can agree with me, you can disagree with me. But it doesn't matter because I know where I've been, I know where I am, I know what I'm going to have to go through. I know what my 2 kids living in 2017 now that I know are going to have to deal with the same stuff I had to deal with 20 years ago. Because this country, this world only sees them as black. It doesn't matter that they're black and Puerto Rican. They're not going to see Puerto Rican because they look black. That's a whole other issue. We'll come on that another time. But I don't want them to have to go through that. So to do anything I can to have them not go through that, I'm going to do everything I can to not have them go through that. So, that being said, this is my kickoff. This is where I stand. This is how I feel. This is what I think. I don't care, honestly, if you agree with me or not. If you do agree with me, that is great. We will work together. We will do everything we can to make this world a better place for the people who come behind us. If you do not agree, I'm not going to say I hate you. I'm not going to say you're stupid. I'm not going to name call you or anything. But I am going to say I'm going to talk with you, and we're going to have many, many conversations. Because I'm going to change your mind. I'm going to fix how you think, how you were programmed to think, and how you were taught to think. Because the way you were taught to think is the wrong way. Because nobody is beneath anybody else. I say Black Lives Matter. You come at me with, oh, Black lives don't matter more than white lives. But I never said that at all. Understand that Black Lives Matter simply means that Black lives matter. Nothing more, nothing less. It doesn't mean Black lives matter than white lives, Hispanic lives, immigrant lives, Asian lives, Arab lives, nothing. It doesn't mean any of that. If you take that from that, that means that you have something wrong with the way that you think. And that's probably because that's the way you were taught to think. That anybody who's different from you is less than you. And that is not the case. Everybody having equal rights, equal treatment, fair treatment in this world does not mean that you lose yours. And that is what's important. So we're going to go from this point forward, and I'm going to teach you exactly how I think, and how I think is something that I had to learn because I was taught to think differently. I was taught to think that people who were not like me were less than me, which isn't the case. And if I could learn that on my own, then I know you can. I appreciate you for taking the time to listen to this. Please leave a comment. I don't care if it's positive, negative. Just let me know. But keep tuned because I'm going to post more of these. Follow me on Facebook, Patrick Knight. Follow me on Twitter at DubTrixxx. So that's for 3 X's. Let me know what you think, and we will continue this dialogue. Thank you.